I'm going to the store later. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to pick up." "Thanks, Obachan. If it's not too much trouble, do you think you could pick me up a new box of tea bags? I'm almost all out." "Tea bags? You mean like a fresh bag of loose tea leaves?" "No, I mean like instant tea bags for making tea when I'm in a rush. Sometimes before school in the morning, I'll just boil a cup of water and drop in a tea bag before heading out." "Oh my, how does it taste?" "To be honest, kind of bitter." "I can only imagine. Making tea in the microwave. Kids these days, not the proper way at all." "What do you mean, the proper way?" "Have you ever experienced a tea ceremony, Kay?" "A tea ceremony? What's that?" "Tea ceremony is called sado, chado, or chanoyu in Japanese, and is a rich cultural practice that has been passed down for generations in Japan. Green tea originally arrived from China during the 8th century, and it was popular among noble elites who used these elaborate tea parties to show off their opulent tea sets and extensive knowledge about tea and Chinese customs to guests." So basically, the tea ceremony was originally just a big flex for nobles? At first, yes. It wasn't until the Muromachi period, almost 500 years later, that people of all social classes were able to freely enjoy tea. Wow, I never would have thought. Going through the whole process of the ceremony is a bit tedious. Today, you can buy tea at pretty much every coffee shop, convenience store, and vending machine, no matter where in the world you are. It's tedious, I'll say. But it has a long and rich history, making it a significant part of Japanese culture. Really? It was around that time when a man named Sen No Rikyu came along and established the tea ceremony as an art form. It is even said that throughout history, Sen No Rikyu is the only person to have ever truly perfected the tea ceremony, and that all other tea masters are simply trying to edge closer and closer to what his original tea ceremony may have looked like. I'm confused. What do you mean to perfect the tea ceremony? How do you even conduct a tea ceremony? Good question. Let me briefly explain what a typical tea ceremony is like. Conducting a proper tea ceremony takes many, many years to do skillfully, and even masters are always looking for ways they can perfect their art. Before the tea ceremony can begin, the guests must first enter the room. After the guests enter and get seated, the host then enters, makes a formal bow, and the ceremony can begin. After arranging the various components, such as the mitsusashi, a water container, the chawan, tea bowl, and the natsume, tea container, the host will then purify the utensils with a special cloth called a fukusa. What do you mean purify? While the utensils have already been sufficiently cleaned, by purifying with the fukusa, the host is ridding them of any spiritual impurities, as well as bringing the souls of the host and guests closer together. Ah, I see. Next, the host will start to heat the water in a special kettle known as kama, and then ladle it into the bowl before whisking together with the matcha, with a special bamboo whisk called a chasen. I'm a bit confused. How is matcha different than the tea leaves that we use just for making regular green tea? Matcha is made from premium green tea leaves that have been milled to create a fine powder and don't need to be steeped. So, in a sense, it's instant tea powder. Am I right? Well, yes and no. While you can technically just add matcha powder to hot water and drink it, by whisking it with a chasen, it adds volume and air to the drink. What you are left with is a delicious, delicately balanced froth mixture that coats the palate more evenly and allows you to better enjoy the flavor of the tea. So, texture is really key here, isn't it? Now you're getting it. Here is a video that explains more about the differences between sencha and matcha. The host has to be careful, as under-whisking the matcha will cause the tea to be flat, while over-whisking will make it too foamy and hard to drink. So getting the balance is the hard point, huh? You learn fast. This is why tea ceremony is considered an art. Everything from heating the water, to whisking the tea, to pouring the tea, to collecting the dishes must be done with precision and elegance. There is an order and an exact way to execute each and every element of the tea ceremony, all the way down to how you place the cut on the table. I had no idea! The ceremony ends after the guests finish the tea, and the host will collect their cups before cleaning it before the guests. The guests will then often enjoy wagashi sweets, if they haven't already with their tea. Wagashi sweets and green tea? It's kind of like green tea frappuccino! How long does a tea ceremony usually last? It depends on the level of formality and the occasion. Casual tea ceremonies can last under 1 hour, but longer, more elaborate tea ceremonies can be as long as 4 hours. 4 hours? No way! I love tea, but 4 hours is a bit much even for me. Don't worry. The 4-hour version is only for really special events, and so you won't have to attend them too often. I am interested. However, how can I learn how to do the tea ceremony myself? Today, tea ceremony is a popular hobby in Japan and throughout the world, and so many local tea shops and even community centers offer classes. In addition, most Japanese schools offer sadobu, or tea ceremony club, where you can learn how to do a tea ceremony in detail and even go on to compete in national competitions. Wow, that sounds amazing! Thanks for telling me, Obachan. And don't worry about getting the tea bags. From now on, I'm going to get up a bit earlier, so I can make my own tea myself. Is that so? Yeah! It may not be a proper 4-hour-long tea ceremony, but I've got to start somewhere. Well, in that case, I wish you all the luck in the world. Who knows? If you practice hard enough, you might just end up as the next great tea master. We can only hope. Oh, then don't forget to subscribe to my granddaughter ChaCha's YouTube channel here. She has a lot of videos teaching about Japanese green tea. Who is ChaCha?